Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? Hope y'all doing well on this beautiful Sunday evening. I'm fresh off of a 3-mile run. You know what I'm saying? I was jamming that King Von in my headphones, man. Say that motherfucking album jamming, man. That Welcome to O Block, that hoe go hard, man. Hey, rest in peace to King Von, man. But look, so I just, a lot of people been asking me to talk about Devin Haney versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Them boys been going back and forth on Twitter. It looks like today. I don't know if that's Twitter or Instagram, but they've been going back and forth and things like that, and people been asking me to talk about this fight. So first and foremost, I think this is a fantastic fight. I think this will be a very, very highly competitive, highly skilled fight between two extremely skilled fighters. I'm a huge fan of both guys. I love Gervonta Tank Davis. I love his game, everything about him, everything that, his maturation process, his continued growth in the sport and where he is mentally now and how he's matured as a fighter. And even outside of the ring, when you hear him talk, you could tell that he's focused and he's looking at things from a totally different perspective now. So I'm loving what I'm seeing and hearing from Gervonta Tank Davis. Devin Haney, always been an extremely hard worker, always dedicated to the craft, always focused, always in the gym, training. And, the way he talks, you know what I'm saying? You could tell that he really understands the sport of boxing. He really understands the art of boxing and all the small nuances that go into it. So, and he's only 21, the kid just turned 21 this year. So it's very impressive for him to be able to do the things that he's doing at such an early age. And I'm just excited about his potential going forward, but this is a great fight, man. You got the classic stylistic matchup where you got a pure boxer in Devin Haney and you got a boxer puncher in Gervonta Tank Davis. And to be honest with you, as of right now, as of today, Gervonta Tank Davis, I believe, is the more complete fighter. Gervonta, he has the experience, edge in big fights. He's been in bigger fights, been in there with better competition. Just coming off of the knockout of the year, one of the best knockouts I've ever seen in my life, versus Leo Santa Cruz, who was a 4-division champion. And, and Leo Santa Cruz was actually the bigger guy in that fight. So Gervonta Tank Davis impressed me in that fight with his ability to make adjustments. He started to struggle. He struggled a little bit with the reach and the length of Leo Santa Cruz early on in that fight. But what I was more impressed with how Gervonta made adjustments in that fight. Because to me, one of the biggest things and one of the biggest attributes that you can have as a fighter is the ability to make adjustments. And to me, that's very, very important. So he showed me a lot in that fight. And I still think there's a lot that we haven't seen from Tank Davis that he got in his toolbox, but it still ain't been brought out yet. Devin Haney coming off of a 12-zip unanimous decision versus Gamboa. A lot of people sitting on that performance. I know that Devin Haney, leading up to the fight, said he was going to stop Gamboa. He wanted to stop him. And, of course, a lot of fighters say that they're going to knock somebody out and they don't end up getting a knockout. And I can understand how some people would be disappointed in that, especially the casual fans who only care about knockouts. They don't care about boxing skills. They don't care about distance and timing and hand speed, accuracy, punch placement, the jab, ring generalship. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit. All they want to see is somebody bleed or dead sleep like Leo Santa Cruz was. You know what I'm saying? So they don't care about nothing else but that. So I understand why they wouldn't be able to appreciate what Devin Haney did. But I myself, like I said, I wasn't excited about the fight to begin with. So I wasn't impressed by what he did. I actually expected that. Go back and watch the live show, the Merlot Fridays that we did. It's titled Devin Haney and versus Teofimo Lopez Must Happen Next for Undisputed. And I talked about it in that fight. I told you, I'm like, if he don't get the knockout against Gamboa, it's like, that's not a huge thing to me. I don't expect him to go in there and stop Gamboa. I expect him to put on a boxing masterclass, which is what he did. He won all 12 rounds. So, this, what's crazy to me is that how you could sit on a fighter for literally winning every round. I don't understand. But hey, you know, everybody got their things that they look for in boxing and that they appreciate and that they enjoy as fans. So hey, to each his own. But let's talk about this matchup, man. First and foremost, man, I think it's a great matchup because it's a good stylistic matchup. Now you got Tank Davis. He's a 5'5". He's going to be the shorter guy with the shorter reach. I can see in this fight that he's going to have to be the fighter coming forward, trying to cut the ring off on Devin Haney and, you know, try to get on the inside and land his power shots, which I think he can do. I think Gervonta Tank Davis, being experienced as he is, being as skilled, as fast, probably when I was talking to my boy about this after his fight versus Leo Santa Cruz, how Tank Davis might be like top 3, the fastest as far as just pure hand speed. It don't have to be in combinations, even though his combinations are very, very fast. Just his one punch hand speed is ridiculous. Like, go back and look at that uppercut. Like the way he parried, he dies one shot, he dies one straight right from Leo, and then he parried the second straight right, and then the last one, it kind of barely grazed him, and then he just said, enough is enough. Boom, came up with a crazy ass uppercut at the motherfucking speed of light. It was ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? So hand speed, crazy. We know he got the power. We know he got the boxing IQ. He really got everything. But in this fight, again, styles make fights, and you got to take into account the physical dimensions. With him being out with the reach at disadvantage that he's going to have versus Devin Haney, of course, he's going to have to come forward and cut the ring off and try to get to Devin Haney. Devin Haney being the longer, and I would consider him a better pure boxer than Gervonta Tank Davis, being a longer guy, the taller guy he's actually long. And again, I talked about how Gervonta kind of struggled a little bit to figure out Leo Santa Cruz on how to get on the inside of that reach. Devin Haney is taller than Leo, longer than Leo, longer reach, you know what I'm saying? And I think he's a way better boxer and no disrespect to Leo Santa Cruz. I just think Devin Haney is just a vastly superior boxer, pure boxer than Leo Santa Cruz. And, you know, I think Devin Haney's game plan would be to stay on the outside. Don't get into no firefight with Tank Davis. Don't try to engage with him. You know, just boxing from the outside. Use your jab and use your footwork, use your distance, use your head movement, and just kind of frustrate Tank Davis. Keep him on the end of a jab and make him chase you. You know, and when he missed, you got to make him pay. You know what I'm saying? And a big factor in this fight, I know one of the main things that people point out with Devin Haney is his lack of power. You know, now he's 21 years old, just turned 21 this year. I don't know if it's a thing of where his man strength hasn't came in yet. Remember when Shakur Stevenson first turned pro, I believe he was 22, 23 years old. And I think he was like 22 years old. And his, maybe he was 21, but 21 or 22, his strength, like he wasn't knocking guys out. People was talking shit about Shakur Stevenson, like, oh, he ain't got no power, he ain't got this. But after, you know, you look I think he turned a year older. And then, of course, with the experience and, you know, continuing to fight, continuing to work on his game, those knockouts started to come. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, I think people looking into the whole power thing a little bit too much and just disregarding the skills, because I knew Shakur Stevenson, whether he was going to turn into a power puncher or not, I knew that he was going to be able to put it together and be able to get victories. And he actually, you know, just got better in the power department and just landing his punches better and putting those stoppages together via accumulation. But he also knocked guys out with one shot, just like how Devin Haney did versus, was that Mason Menard? I forget the guy's name, but y'all remember he had like a top 3 knockout of the year with the left hook, I believe. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he obviously has enough power and pop to make guys respect him, so they don't just come in rushing in all crazy and just crashing out on him. You know what I'm saying? Like how Sean Porter did versus Paulie Malignaggi. You know, Paulie Malignaggi literally didn't have nothing to keep him up off of him, so he just crashed in like, fuck it, this dude can't touch me. You know what I'm saying? But how Floyd used to, on the second end of his career, you know, with the hurt hands and stuff like that, he still had enough power and pop to make guys respect him and keep him at bay. Even Andre Berto. Go back to listen to Andre Berto's breakdown of how it was. And I'm not comparing Devin Haney to Floyd. I'm giving you different examples, just like how I gave you the Shakur Stevenson example, and just like how I gave you the Paulie Malignaggi example. But go back and listen to Andre Berto explain what it's like to fight Floyd Mayweather. And he said, like, he don't punch hard at all. He got enough pop to make you respect him. And even Berto was like, look, you know, you got to be careful because you don't want to get caught with nothing crazy. But he don't have like crazy power. And I think, you know, Devin Haney, I think he has enough pop to keep these guys, you know, at bay. Look at the Gamboa fight. Gamboa, every time Devin Haney landed something stiff on him, Gamboa was holding and hugging and like just trying, because he knew that if you keep taking those shots and if you don't come in and hold and, you know, do all the veteran crafty tactics to survive, you leaving yourself open for combinations. Gamboa knew that, and he knew that he was going to be able to get away with the holding. He actually got deducted, I believe, not once, but twice in that fight versus Devin Haney. Got deducted for excessive holding. You know what I'm saying? So he knew what he was doing to survive. I think that's why he was dancing at the end of the fight. He like, ooh, I didn't get knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy about that. Okay, cool. But the point I'm making as far as with the power, you know, I think in this fight with Tank Davis, that will be a question. Does he have enough pop to make Gervonta respect him and keep him at bay, you know, and make him just be cautious of jumping in and crashing out without worrying about return fire. I think that'll be a major key. You know what I'm saying? If Devin Haney can't make Tank respect his pop even a little bit, I think Gervonta Tank Davis gonna go in there and walk him down and run him smooth over. You know what I'm saying? Just get him the fuck out of there. You know, straight up. That's what I think will happen. But if Devin Haney does have enough pop to a respectable amount just to make Tank Davis reluctant to, if I throw this shot with all my might and I miss and I'm wide open, do I really want to get hit with a clean left hook from Devin Haney? Do I really want to get caught with a right uppercut from Devin Haney? Do I really want to get hit with a straight right from Devin Haney? You know, Tank Davis is a southpaw. Do I really want to eat a straight right down the pipe from Devin Haney? You know what I'm saying? I think that would be the biggest question in this fight. But I think it's a great fight stylistically. Again, you got a guy that's going to be coming for us, a shorter guy with shorter reach versus the longer guy that's going to be predominantly boxing and moving the whole fight and trying to, you know, just giving you the sweet signs, you know, trying to hit and not get hit. And I think that's a 50-50 fight in my genuine opinion. I believe, you know, with Haney being a bigger guy, I told y'all I don't believe Tank Davis is a true lightweight. So I think him coming up in weight, you know, I think it'll be a little different versus a true lightweight like Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a very intriguing fight whenever it does happen. And I'm excited. I hope they can make that fight happen. I would personally like to see Devin Haney versus Teofimo Lopez next for Undisputed. I think both of these guys beat Teofimo Lopez, to be honest with you. I think Tank Davis, with Teofimo Lopez's lack of head movement that he showed in the second half of that Vasyl Lomachenko fight, he was getting hit with all type of shit when Lomachenko actually started to press forward. I think Tank Davis would end up landing too many crisp, clean, hard shots on Teofimo Lopez, and he might stop him. And I don't think that Lopez will be able to cut the ring off on Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney will box to a smooth UD over Teofimo Lopez. But you know, as far as Tank Davis and Devin Haney fighting, I think that's a great fight, man. And hopefully it happens soon. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. How do y'all feel about that fight? Do y'all think that fight will happen sometime soon? And if it does, who y'all got winning, man? Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.